What's happening, everybody? It's kind of a Sunday. It's actually the end of the weekend. Been just doing a bunch of cleanup around the property. I got the old DR wood chipper. I'll show you. We just chipped up a bunch. I mean, there was a bunch of dead trees that were all right here, so we chipped those up. But wanted to take y'all down and show you the almost final. Oh, we got to go a little slow. We got wood chip. We don't want that little guy falling over. The almost final cleanup of the creek. Hopefully we've got that thing to a spot where we just let it be what it is and let it kind of recoup itself, let nature do its thing. And yeah, I don't want to be doing too much more intervention down here. So in the last video I kind of talked about, like, hey, the two big pines, the dead tree in the back, and etc. etc. So while I had them in here, we had some piles of trees from like when we cleared the creek and cleared the trail and all that good stuff. So I had them start picking up those piles and taking those. And then that led into like, hey man, any of these, like, we'll just say like this, like, hey, you see some shit like that, let's clear it out of here. Let's, because I don't have a way to get rid of that kind of shit. So I figured while they were here, it's like, like there was a big brush pile over here that they took, and but here's the, let me zoom out a little bit so you can get a full picture. That's right there was where our two big pines were. Man, I was really sad to see those guys go. I mean, they were some big ones, but they were a danger. So cleared out this. There was a big dead pine over there. They drug it out for us. Did some cleanup. There's still a little bit in there, but after they did that, they were really good about kind of knocking their tracks down. But Marcia and I, there was some things. I'll take you for a walk. We'll take a walk. There were some things that Marcia and I still didn't like. So her and I came through here yesterday and did a little extra touch-up work to help kind of make it more like what we thought it would be. And it's kind of weird. It's like, you would think, hey, it's down here in the creek, and it is, hogs are going to kind of come through and tear it up and etc. etc. But ironically enough, let me say, like, let's say this sand was piled up like that. When that gets rain on it, that fucking pile is going to get hard. It gets almost hard like concrete. So, like, prime example, this was something that I'd cleaned up. This was a real bad hump from when all the equipment just kind of runs through here. So that's what Marcia and I did, and I'll show you like an example over here. But another thing Marcia and I did was, we haven't finished, but like where that storm came through and kind of piled up this bullshit right here around the bases of the trees, we're kind of getting in there and knocking that stuff down, and it just makes it look so much better. But I kind of came through here, and tried to smooth this out. That way when we get some rain, it's not gonna make this all look, it'll make it look more natural looking, versus this was the tree they took down. Told them to go ahead and leave a stump. We might want to sit on there Also wanted to leave it because, you know, them roots will help hold that soil there. That's what the one island is looking like. You know, some ryegrass coming in that I throwed out there. But yeah, like, man, see just all this bumpity right here, you know, it's like just kind of smooth it out is all we're doing a little bit. So I'll show you a little example. There's a little stump I forgot. Came through here yesterday with the stump grinder also. So you can see, like right here, like, you know, just that piled up on the side stuff. I mean, can you see it? You know, it just, that kind of stuff. Man, once that gets rain on it, it's going to be set. So while it's kind of loose, I'm going to grab that and kind of fan it in a little bit. You know, you can see like this little edge right here, this little edge right here, just stuff like that. This one's like a good little example, just how that, you know, is rutted out, you know. Another hard edge right here, you know. So we're kind of coming through doing that. But well, it's better. It's back to a point where once we get some rains and these leaves start falling, nature will start taking back over, and it's going to look a lot better. There's old Bigfoot. I've had 2 contractors hit the base of that motherfucker, and it pisses me off. But, you know, through here, there's a couple little piles up against the trees that we want to knock down. Not going to get too fancy with it, you know, because like I said, I mean, I'm not looking for a perfectly level surface that, you know, a broomed floor or anything, you know. But I do want it a good enough base to where once nature starts kind of taking over in the rain, like I said. But I don't know, I mean, we're happy with it, you know. We had him, I had to add on, man, there was some fallen trees. I'll get over there and show you, but just a mass of just trees and stuff that had fell right there. So this little backside right here, Marcia and I have already kind of come through. Like all this stuff was just bunched up around the trees, and we've already gone through there. But I mean, you can just tell how much cleaner it looks, you know. So what I'm doing, well, I've got the chipper. I did some chipping up there on the way down. I'm gonna see if like these little piles that we created, I'm gonna, you know, kind of chip some of that shit up and get it out of here. But, you know, we did leave some so that, you know, it can kind of create some dirt and leave some organics. Like some of this bigger shit, you know, I'll kind of throw out and let it start decaying and, you know, create some good organics and stuff. So this was a tree that had three trees growing off of one. This side had fallen a long time ago, and that tree was laying across here. It's been here since we bought the property, and you know, it's always kind of bothered me. But then this guy ended up falling, and he was hanging up in the trees there. I think he was leaning on this guy that's leaning. So we had him cut that down, and then this guy was still standing, but you could tell he was about ready to fall. The whole thing was pretty much rotten. So we just had him take all that out and get rid of it. So we'll keep going around the trail. Like I said, Marcia and I have already kind of came and knocked the edges off this, so you can kind of tell, like, it doesn't look like this is a trail, you know what I mean? It just looks like an open area of the woods. That makes sense. I may be just trying to justify all this stupid shit we're doing, but you know, to me it makes us happy to kind of give the forest a I don't know what you call it, a forest or the woods, whatever. Give the woods a clean slate to start being nature again. And not only that, it gives me a clean slate. There's a bunch of piles of stuff up there that he cleared out, you know. But it also gives me a clean slate and better access here for me to be able to maintain some of this stuff. And, you know, get in here with my equipment and chip this stuff up. Or, you know, get in here with my stump grinder and grind some stumps. Get in here with my lawnmower and mow the trail when it starts getting grass on it and stuff. And the only reason I do that is for ticks, you know, because you start getting grassies around here like this stuff, and you know, the ticks will be on it. The girls will be walking and then they'll get ticks. So, but you know, knocked all this shit, all these edges down. That's where the big pine was. I mean, you can see where they kind of, whoa, where they drug it out. I mean, that sucker, that was the stump right there. And that fucker went all the way over to there. It was a big one. So they got that guy out here for us. So, I mean, that's the gist of it. You know, it's, sorry about the finger. It's opened up kind of, man, it's getting a little more than what I wanted. Because I wanted to keep it woods. I wanted to keep it, this is what we bought it for, you know, this is what we bought. And then, you know, to know that you have this big open area, it's nice, don't get me wrong. And I think it's kind of right now, a happy balance. You know, we got a nice clean open area for us to enjoy. We got a nice clean wide trail to walk and feel safe, you know, and be able to see a snake or something if it's coming across. But, you know, we still have a good amount of all natural woods. And I will say, the only other thing, you know, they had to get over here. They had to, that's pretty much a fucking road open to the road. I don't have any kind of block anymore, but, you know, again, hopefully over a little bit of time, a lot of that shit will kind of grow back up, and we'll still have access for equipment or whatever, you know, skid steers and excavators to come in here if I need them. But, so I will say, last several contractors, the first company I had come out here, they were kind of some kids, so they didn't understand. But the last couple of contractors I've had out here have just been in awe over this property. Like, they fell in love with it, which makes me feel good, makes us feel good. But just both of them were commenting on how, just like, hey, this is untouched property. Like, nobody's ever come through here, cleared and replanted or nothing like that. They's like, this is as raw as you can get. Oh, don't fall. Y'all okay? Y'all okay? No. Also the creek, you know, a few of them, one of them even lives here in Gilmer, and he's from Gilmer, and he was like, dude, that's the cleanest creek I've ever seen in Gilmer. He goes, that's the cleanest, clearest water you'll ever get, you know. And I know, let me, like over there, you know, let me zoom in a little bit. Over there, it looks a little, you know, but man, like right there, it's a little murky, but yesterday or the other day, man, that thing was as clear as you could see all the way to the bottom. But they, you know, they've all raved about it, so that, you know, that makes us feel good. And it was also awesome because they understood, and they were good stewards of the property and respecting it and respecting our wishes and understanding what we were asking them to do and why we were doing. But that's where we're at. So we're going to run little DR back in the back over there and kind of chip up some of them piles. And I'm going to get to that. And I don't know. There's some other things that I still need to do the valves on the lawnmower. I haven't finished that. And some things I need to do on the shelter. I need to caulk between the sidewalk and the shelter, and just little nitpicky things that I need to do. But tired too. Kind of want to take a nap. But we ain't got time for all that. We got shit to do. So y'all are holding me up. So I'm gonna go do it. Y'all enjoy it, and appreciate y'all as always, and hope you enjoy my content. Okay, I bought a GoPro, so I'm gonna try to do the GoPro. But I bought the GoPro Hero 10, and I got it in the mail, and I opened the package, and the screen didn't work, so I had to send that one back, get another one. But when I ordered, they had the GoPro and then the GoPro with accessories. So I was like, oh, the headband and the tripod and the octopus arms and all this stuff. Well, I got to remembering I bought all that for the old GoPro that I can't find right now. And I went and looked at my accessories, and sure as shit, they would work with the 10. So I said, okay, I'll just order the camera. So I got the camera in, sent it back, got the new one. And then I opened up my accessories, and I was like, oh, man, I was all excited because the two things I wanted was the headband and the octopus arm, so that I could, it's like a, tripod that you can wrap around things and all kinds of things. But anyway, they were not in my accessories. So evidently, those were the two accessories I wanted to use with my old one, and I think I put them in the case with the old one, and in the case that I can't find. So I have the GoPro, but now I still have to find my old one so that I can have the accessories to be able to do the type of filming that I want. But, little baby steps. We're making progress. I got a new GoPro. It does have the lens on both sides, the screen on both sides, so I can see what I'm doing when I'm flipping it around and all that. So a little bit excited to get that going and figure all that out, but hopefully here soon we'll be using that. So all right, again, y'all are holding me up. I gotta go. Bye.